So I have a question for you. What does it mean to play? When I speak to you as an adult, what does that mean to you when I say play? Do you flick to thoughts of children? Do you flick to thoughts of you having a good time? For me, when I hear the word play, it equates to the work that I get to do. I've been doing this work for the last few decades and I absolutely love it. And I tell people that I play for a living. Now, some people might equate that to the work that I do not being serious. But on the other hand, for me, what it says is that I have played my way to the top. I've done something I absolutely love doing, and I've managed to take myself to the top of my career. I have managed to gain the attention of the media, to open a Kids Life Coach Academy. I've managed to publish books because of my ethos when it comes to play. So I'm Zelna Lauwrens, and I'm the founder of Kids Life Studio and the developer of a play-based coaching system now used by coaches around the world. And I wanted to share time with you today to share something really important. In this day and age where social media is the big driver to who finds us online as service providers, it's really important to show up with authenticity, but also to show up as uniquely you. I find so many people are hiding behind the veneers of shiny websites, accreditation badges, and all of those are fine. They're great. I think it's wonderful. But what really stands the pressure test is who you are. If you are a coach to children and you want to be known in your field, it's about what you do when nobody's watching. It's about how you show up for children when they are watching. The thing is, play-based coaching is not a new modality. It's something that I've been using since 2003. I developed my system and have refined it, but also it's based on solid research, play-based learning, play therapy. It's based on neuroscience principles. So although I get to play for a living and I get to have lots and lots of fun with my clients, that is not the meaning behind play. Play to me is about speaking a child's language because play is a language of childhood. Play to me is about developing a child so that they can reach their true potential, doing what they do best, and that's play. What better way to learn and to grow? So, when I was having a conversation today with one of the certified coaches who's done my play-based coach training, she said something really interesting. She said that she knows exactly how our coaching system works and she understands the methodologies and the ethos behind it. She spent a long time getting her certification. She's making a great success of the work that she's doing. But what concerned her, as it concerned me, was that she had been speaking recently to people who had decided they wanted to become life coaches, work with children or work with parents, and that they were doing courses that are kind of like a one size fits all. And we spoke very briefly about the fact that our certification program, the program that people around the world have gone through with me as their mentor and with master coaches giving them one-to-one support, our approach is really based on play, but it's based most of all on who we are and how we show up. We work from the child up to the parent. We do not advocate for parent coaching in the traditional sense. There is a time and place for parents to get coaching of their own, and that is if they're dealing with their own trauma. That is if they're dealing with their own belief systems that they need unpicking and rewiring. But we do all of that anyway. We work with the whole family. So you get a two for one with us. But that being said, some people believe that you need to be a parent coach or you need to be an adult coach and that you can use those to work with children. It's not like that. Developmentally, children are not, they're not geared, their brains are not yet hardwired to learn in that way, to be coached in that way. That's why I'm a strong believer, and the evidence is there to prove it, but I'm a strong believer that when we learn how to meet a child where they are at, remove the labels, remove the things that are challenges, and we just see their potential and we give them the opportunity to rewire the neural pathways for success, for leadership, for resilience, for confidence, for self-esteem, that's when the magic happens. Now, playing your way to the top, which is the topic of today's session, is about one thing and one thing only when it comes to you, if you're a kids' life coach or if you're a teacher or a social worker, whoever you are, if you work with children in one way or another, even if you're a parent and you're watching this, playing your way to the top doesn't mean competing with other people. It means staying in your lane. Playing your way to the top means how are you supporting your inner child and the things you experienced in your childhood and the belief systems that have been framed and formed because of those experiences? How are you supporting yourself to become the best version of you? Which is something that we do very well at the Kids Life Studio. We spend a lot of time on not just mindset work, but neuroscience based rewiring, hard booting the brain to remove those belief systems. And that's why our training, the first few months, is spent really unpicking those beliefs so that when we work with children, we can support them from the vantage point of us being neutral bystanders, not bringing our own baggage, which is why I question people who are parent coaches, who are parents themselves. How can they ever be objective? What they can do is they can be a cheerleader, they can give you perspective, but you, as the parent, has to always find your own answers anyway. That coach is never going to be there in your environment. They don't know. Which is why, as a coach, I mean, I've been working with families for years and years and years now. I work very closely with the whole family, but I don't do all my work with the family, with the mother and the father, grandparents, whoever wants to attend, aunties, uncles. I don't only spend time with everybody together. I have one-to-one sessions. And just because my speciality is children doesn't mean I cannot coach or work with adults, because I work with the inner child part, and that's the rebranding childhood part. It's the part of us that still drives our behavior, even though we don't want it to. That behavior is still being driven by that little inner child, that little inner voice, those neural pathways hardwired by the words that have been spoken to us, our experiences we've had, the memories we've made. And so it's really important, if you are going to work as a coach, whether it's for parents or adults, corporate, children, that you do your own inner work. Anybody who coaches knows this. If you don't have your own coach and you're not getting professional supervision, you're not being coached, you're not having mentorship, you've got to think again, because you cannot do this alone, which is why I really love our mentorship calls that I have with I call them alumni of the Kids Life Studio. They've done our training. They're using our play-based coaching under their own brands, sometimes under the Kids Life Studio brand. But we get together and we discuss best practices and we speak about play in such a way that it's scientific. And that is what makes us a success at what we do. We don't mind what the competitors are doing. I've been in this game long enough to know what the competitors are doing. They're catching up. And that's wonderful, because there are so many children who need help and who need support. And you might be watching this and you might be the one to support them. But are you going to do it ethically, sustainably? Are you going to do it in such a way that the parent gets the support that they need without them being coached? Will you do it in such a way that the child gets exactly what they need with a coaching system that gets results that are measurable? So I'm going to leave this here with you. If you want to get ahead and play your way to the top, you've got to love what you're doing. That is the secret behind the success of what I do. My clients come back year after year after year, sometimes 10 years, 15 years. They're still coming back, not because there's something wrong or they have challenges, but because they understand the value of priming a child's mind, a teenager's mind, a young adult's mind as my clients grow older. The parents understand the value of priming their minds for leadership, for capability, for possibility, for hope. Bad things happen to good kids all the time. And we can choose to focus on the bad thing, or we can choose to focus on play. We can choose to focus on harnessing their potential, recalibrating their nervous system. I could go on and on and on, but playing your way to the top ultimately is about you rebranding your childhood and making sure that you show up as the most authentic version of yourself that is absolutely loving the life that you're living, loving the work that I want to say you've chosen to do, but actually, if you think about it, it's actually chosen you. So enjoy the work that you're doing, play your way to the top, but do it for the right reasons.